Hello, A Day with Caleb. We're back, kind of finishing off the restaurant toy collection that I have. And these, for the most part, are all sealed unless they didn't come sealed. Uh, the first part, if you have not seen that video, go back and watch that. I break down the Jackie Chan Burger King toys and the Ice Age complete sets. I have every toy, and you'll see if you go back or if you've watched it, they all kind of fit together and have like reaction and action, like a chain reaction, kind of like, dominoes, if you think of it that way. You set off one toy and it kind of makes a chain reaction. At least for the Ice Age, I think it's for the Jackie Chan ones as well. So go check that out. Today we'll kind of finish up. We have some complete collections of Burger King toy runs. Some are not complete, but these are very cool. For the longest time, I had them all kind of scattered about in separate totes. But a couple months ago, I went through when I was kind of updating my new collections app that I did a video on. We kind of put them all in one tote, centralized, because there were some that I thought I had 2 or 3 of, but maybe we're missing one, but I wasn't sure which ones. So if you have any kind of collection, my collections app is great for that, to keep up with all that. I did several videos on, go check those out. But we'll kind of just dive right in. Now this would be one I would want a complete series on at some point, but it might be too late to start now. Of course, you never know. These might be out and about for pretty reasonable prices. But McDonald's released these, I believe it was an anniversary release, or maybe they were promoting the Masterpiece VHS clamshells. But anyway, you would get a toy from the film that it was based on, and there were several of these clamshell toy releases. I think like 50 or so. I could be wrong on that, but there were a bunch of them. See, this is marked number 7, so I believe there were quite a few. Comment down below if you remember the number. But we have number 7, the 3 Caballeros, and a long way to go on that if I want a complete collection. But then we have the Hercules line, and this has like a hard plastic shell for Hercules, but then they kind of did a dual-sided toy, which is cool. And then that is, of course, the monster he faces in the film. So pretty unique packaging there. Then we have Bonkers. Who remembers Bonkers? Now this was the toy here, and then there's like part of like a carded maze type thing, puzzle. And these are crash apart cars, so you could send them into walls and they would kind of break apart. Bonkers was a great show back in the day. And now we have a cell phone. Who remembers a flip cell phone? This was from the second Men in Black, MIB 2. I think that used to light up. I could be wrong. But that was from one of our many adventures to, was this Burger King? Yeah, Burger King. we used to be in good with a manager there, and he would go in the back, dig through toys if there was a line we liked the most, like the Jackie Chan and the Ice Age. He would help me out. If there was a certain one I was missing, he would go look. And sometimes he owned like 3 Burger Kings. He would go to his other 2 stores, when he was checking on them, and see if they had a toy that was missing and bring it back. That was super cool. One of the reasons I have a complete Jackie Chan and Ice Age collection. But this is the Emperor's New Groove, and the panther in the kind of start of the film, you can see there. Then we have T.Y. Who remembers when that was relevant and valuable to have these? Now they're not valuable at all. Kind of just nostalgia. I guess some of the first gen are still valuable. Then we have Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. Then we have Incredibles 2, and this is from McDonald's, so that is neat. Frozone. Then we have some toys from Aladdin and the King of Thieves. We have Aladdin, Yazoo. Is that? Oh, Genie. Can you see Genie there? So that's a cool set to have. Then we get to... Oh, okay, yeah. This is another set I wouldn't mind having. The, was it Centennial Collection? Of course it doesn't say. Disney never says. I believe this was the Centennial Collection, 100 Years of Disney. But anyway, you have a character, for example, Tinkerbell, and most of them have the signature, and then they would have a card in the back. Most of the time it would be of the film the character is in, and I believe, since it was Centennial, I believe there was 100 of these characters. Oh, okay. Oh, my bad, okay. Yeah, this was for Disneyland's 50th, I'm sorry, not the Centennial. See, number 24 for the Electrical Parade, Disney's Electrical Parade. So the figures would be of attractions from Disneyland, so totally my bad. There's a Centennial collection out there, just not these. So that is great. You would put that back there. And I never saw the Electrical Parade. We did the Pixar version at Disneyland, which was probably the best night parade I've ever seen. All the lighted Pixar characters. Then they had these fairies, just like Tinkerbell, and they had this light that would come down and illuminate their face, and they had these like light up wings. Incredible show. And then we have these Space Jam. There's only one Space Jam movie, for all those wondering. They didn't make a complete garbage sequel. But we have these little figures, and this would be a cool one to have all these, because all these interlock together and they make a NBA like basketball court. So I'm not sure how many you need in order to do that, but we have 6 here. I'm sure there's many more than 6 to collect. But I always thought that was an interesting kind of look. You know, back in the day, all these toys would like connect or have some way where you knew there was a complete set. Think of like the 101 Dalmatians, and we've done a video on that toy line. There was 101 toys, and if you were special enough, like a manager or somebody higher up in the company, you would get this box and have little cutouts, and it would have all 101 Dalmatians with posters promoting the toy line. I got that years ago at a Salvation Army for cheap with 2 posters, and now the price has gone up on that. But think of that, trying to collect 101 of those toys. Me and my brother Josh, we made a pretty good dent in that toy run. We probably got 25 or 30 of the 101, but never completed it until I went in one day to our local Salvation Army and knew right away what it was, made sure everything was in there. It had a certificate of authenticity, it had 2 posters, double-sided, one side displayed all 101 toys. Then on the front side it would have the promotional Dalmatians doing one of their sayings. Then we forgot one from Space Jam, so we have 7 of those. Then this I got out and about with Dave. I don't believe I did a vid. That was back before I had a channel, I believe. But Dave probably showed these off at some point. But these are the Goof Troop bowlers. And I think we had Max at one point. But now we have the complete collection, all 4 of them. So I think Max, Goofy, Pete, and and his son. So that's cool. PJ, right? Pete and PJ, Max and Goofy. Alright, we'll show one more and then we have some complete collections. This I believe I got from Dave's store. It came from Cinema Cygnus. Some small soldiers goodness. Those are ones I'll probably never have a complete run of, but the main movie toy line from Small Soldiers, the big carded figures, those were cool. We would go into Target back in the day because our dad used to stock and unload pallets and stuff from Target, so we would go there. And they had this massive display with like these big winged out like stanchions with all these Small Soldiers toys. And what were they going for? They were pretty expensive back in the day. I want to say it was like 25 bucks for like one of the carded figures. So we bought a couple, maybe 4 or 5, but I always wanted to keep buying them, but you know, back then $25 was a lot. But now I tease them because now some of those carded figures are worth hundreds. Especially like the Frankenstein one, the Gorgonite. So hindsight is 2020. If we could go back to that moment in time, buy out every Small Soldiers toy they had. But anyway, and I didn't keep them carded back then. We would obviously take them out, play with them, because we were kids. Now I keep them carded, keep that nostalgia. But speaking of Space Jam, we just showed some minifigures. These are kind of the plush they released. McDonald's release. So they had quite the push for Space Jam. They had the kind of interlocking court toys, and then they had like the bigger plush. And these are great. These are massive, but very cool to have these. And they were promoting the video game too. That's cross marketing right there. And of course promoting the film. Buster Babs, that is cool. So I don't. This is not a complete set. We have three of the 6. At some point I need to get the other 3. But we got 3 of them. But this is a complete set. Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I did get this from Dave back in the day too. But great to have these. These were released by Burger King. And this was like a hand puppet. I don't know why his scarf is covering him up. That reminds me of the Lon Chaney film, The Man Who Laughs. He would have a scarf over his face. If you haven't seen that film, go check that out. Lon Chaney Sr. at his best. Man, these scarves and like shawls and stuff are really moving about there. There we go. Then of course we end with Quasimodo from the Hunchback films. And these were put out by Mattel. That makes me think of the Toy Story line. Oh, from Mattel. That would be a cool line to get. Who remembers the Burger King Toy Story line? Those were great. You had the little RC, you had the ham, you had the like plush Woody. Oh man, I remember getting those. We would go with our dad on a job where he was painting, and our mom brought Burger King and got us 2 or 3 of the Toy Story toys. It's amazing what your memory, your brain remembers just from like thinking about it. But that was all the restaurant kind of toy releases. I enjoy collecting these. These are pretty neat to have. And we might show off more. I do have some loose ones in totes, and I have some kind of the Toy Story ones I was talking about, and some Pixar. So comment down below if you want that to become a reality. Until next time, like, subscribe, share with a toy lover. Are you Burger King or McDonald's back in the day? We were kind of both, but maybe lean toward Burger King. Until next time, keep collecting.